morning show. We're on the air at 9 o'clock on every weekday night, taking calls about the Jazz.
Hello, JFK here. Rangers
Jimmy.
Radio. How you doing? Well, guys, what do you think about that tonight? Of the day?
We
On
lack
you go.
physicality, Jimmy. The first half, I'm afraid to say, they were going in with very, very meaty challenges. Put it as nicely as that. We couldn't counteract that. The middle of the park was hopeless for me. Second half, we certainly came into the game. We had most of the ball, but the final balls again, some of the crosses. Oh my! I mean, you'd have caught them at whatever stand you were in. For me, the physicality thing was so glaringly obvious. It was frightening. It just isn't there.
But I think Stephen Davis proved a lot as rang Blue Star. I thought I'd have gave him my man of the match apart from Alfredo when he scored the goal, but the physicality of the game we couldn't cope with it. It was Higby. Oh, but anyway, guys, any of you out there who want to come in and join us here on Rangers Radio, can get us in 0141 356 1972, or you can go to on the Skype and go to rangersradio.online and the Fox or Oscar Blue will get you in. Overall, Blue Star, if you were giving marks out of 10 for the day's performance, give me a mark.
Oh,
Is a team performance?
Team performance the second half. I thought. To be fair, I thought we done all right. They gave us about a 6 or a 7. First half, no, sorry. I thought we were all over the place. I thought the midfield were completely inept. I'm deflated because for me we can forget about any notions of the league. But to think you're at, as I just says to Fox, you're 8 games to go when you know you're out of it.
Yeah.
It's not good enough. It's not.
I just jumped in there, guys. Sorry about that. But Fox, sorry, mate. I didn't know you were in there.
No problem at all, Jimmy.
So, what was your assumption of today's events, mate?
Look, we're not doing well, but it's no through lack of effort to me. We're like a boxer with a glass jaw, mate. One punch and we're done. Doesn't matter how technically better we are than these teams.
Yeah.
I agree with what Blue Star says. We're physically battered all over the park. Again, and it's no use keeping saying it's the referees, but these teams are allowed to stop you by any means. And it's getting a wee bit frustrating, mate, for me. It's not a game of football. It's like one team playing football and the other team's playing rugby to me.
I've got to agree with you there, Fox. You know, again, as we spoke before the game, you know, that typical teams that come to Ibrox are typical teams that play against Rangers any time. They put that many men behind the ball, especially when they score first. The physicality of the game, to me, sometimes was horrendous, and the fact is that the rookie referee gave us nothing. I know we kind of keep complaining about the referees, but I would say there should have been 2 sending-offs. But I just don't understand how we kind of compete with that. But as you say, it was a football team playing against a non-football team, and it's just rubbish to watch. You know, they brought us down to their level. I thought Stephen Davis had a decent game. Candace was terrible, absolutely woeful. So was Andy Halliday. Katic for the goal was all over the place. I don't know what Alan McGregor was thinking about. You know, I don't know if there was a lack of communication there, but it was a sore one to lose. But after that, like the Sheep's game, they just put the barriers up, and we need to learn to try and break that down. It's a really, really disappointing result. And second half, Fred in the second half, the goal he scored was absolutely, it was a wonder goal. The way he likes to play, He likes to play on the edge, likes the player behind him, turning the player, and it was a nice wee jink he gave him, put the ball in the back of the pokey. So, did we deserve to win? I always think in the last 10 minutes, with a couple of chances, Greg's missed a great chance. Disappointing. Anti-football again. Anybody that plays Rangers, anti-football. And I would probably go as far as you said, Fox, it's like watching a rugby team.
It was interesting, Jimmy, listening to Archie Knox on the commentary in the Rangers, and he said the whole game he was actually getting frustrated talking to that Tom Miller. He just kept repeating himself by saying, there's no Rangers player committing themselves. He says, if you're playing against a packed defence, he says, you must have players running for the middle of the park and be prepared to take players on. We don't have that. We certainly had Davis. Don't get me wrong, I thought Davis the second half certainly showed a wee bit of class. I did, but they packed their defence. We don't seem to have the players to break them down.
Fox, do you think the manager got his selection right today?
It's hard to say. I mean, we're probably our two best midfielders all season we're missing. He's brought in Koulibaly. Kamara, again, today didn't seem to get into the game too well. Much better than the second half, I thought. Halliday was never in the game, didn't really produce anything down the left-hand side. Kent, for me, again, flared to deceive. His final ball and decision-making lets him down. He can beat a man on a tuppence. He's terrific at beating men, but when he gets close to the 18-yard, his final decision and where he puts the ball is sometimes poor. Gets himself in great striking positions again, and fails to hit the ball correctly. I did agree. I thought Stephen Davis had a reasonable game today. But again, Morelos isolated for the whole first half, and we didn't get the ball to him. I thought Carty and Goldson actually played well together, although they didn't have much today. The goal, I don't know where Goldson was. Long ball through the middle. Carty was always chasing him, and I agree with you. What was Alan McGregor doing past the 18-yard box? Bad decision by him, because I think Carty would have had the chance to chop the boy even before he got to the 18-yard box. But he kind of held back because McGregor was advancing on him. But overall, mate, if you can't break down teams, we're never going to score. And sadly, that's the way the second half of this season has went, you know.
I mean, I like some of McGregor. I mean, he'd already been booked no long before that. No long after that for being an impetuous man, tries to get the game going. So me, I don't know what he was actually thinking about. I don't know if when I was sitting watching here shouting and bawling at the TV and that, I thought were they communicating with one another, but I don't know. But
Jimmy, can I say something there?
On you go, mate.
Did you see it whenever they were going in at half time? McGregor was the last man off the park, and he absolutely hounded the referee right up the tunnel. Now, for me, let's be truthful here. See if that had been an experienced ref, he'd have been red carded. He would have been. I'm not saying he was wrong in what he was saying. What I'm saying is the way that he was acting towards the referee. And I know it's frustration and everything, and we're all angry, and you want to see a bit of passion, but other refs wouldn't have taken that off him. They just wouldn't have.
Well, I was actually in communication with Oxford at the game, and I wanted to know what happened with Alfredo. Certainly there was an altercation between Alfredo and Clubfoot as they were coming off the park.
Yeah.
So I don't know what actually happened there, but I turned it on to Radio 5. It was Radio 5 Live or something that said that Alfredo had a lunge at him. So I turned it on to Radio Scotland, and they said the same. They said that Alfredo Morelos had a lunge at Broadfoot, Clubfoot, and is lucky not to get sent off. So we never seen that. We've seen a bit of waving of horns and fists and that at the end of the first half. So I don't know what actually happened, but probably sports, tell us all about that tomorrow. But getting back to the game, but anybody that wants to call in, 0141 and you can get us also on Skype at rangersradio.online, where Fox and Old School Blue will bring you in and you can come and have a wee chat with the guys here at Rangers Radio. Overall, guys, it's a deflating result. I mean, I know I was kind of deflated at the start of the game when I saw the team, but I kind of perked up the time we chatted about it. But I agree with what Fox was saying there, that it's hard to play against a team like that, you know, that plays like a rugby team. But just to Bear Down Under just joined us. How you doing, Bear?
Good evening, gentlemen. How are we?
Hey, Bear, how you doing, pal?
All right, Bear.
Yeah, pretty flat, guys. I'm just walking back for the supporters club, just locked up. As you can imagine, probably the atmosphere in a bit, you know, the whole club and the whole supporters club running about the world, you know, pretty disappointed and flat.
Yeah.
And I think that probably suggests a performance today, guys. Wasn't impressed at all, you know, with the reaction from the previous results. And I'm a bit concerned, you know.
What about, sorry to interrupt you there, Bear, what about like yourself and the guys at the other end of the world, as they say, about the team selection? Were you happy with the team selection today? Did you think that had any bearing on the result?
You know, that when I seen that team selection, I was more concerned about the McCrory situation. And, you know, I've not listened to any of your shows before, guys, or what have you, but I just looked at, you know, he's dropped the midfield situation, he's dropped Jack and Arfield, you know.
And they were injured.
Right, obviously that's correct. Were injured, whatever, but then is McCrory injured?
No,
why
he
is
was on the bench, mate?
We don't know.
Of
We
course,
were all
right.
discussing that, Bear. We don't know. And for me, a game like that where it's physical and we have a lack of physicality, that's tailor-made for him. So we all said that before the game. It's a mega strange one. We don't know why he doesn't seem to be figuring. Certainly he was on the bench, but I don't know why he's not getting a game.
Hand on heart, guys, I don't know if Ross McCrory would be the guy that was going to make us win that game or no. I don't think that's his game when you look at it. But anyway, that's a different situation. But yeah, I thought we were flat. You know, I thought when you look at you know, what I'm more concerned about is you look at the crowd at Ibrox today. It was, you know, there was a lot of seats empty. You know, and also that reflects on, you know, this side of the world. We were the same the day in our supporters club. You know, it's flat. It looks to us that, you know, have we given up? Have we given up? And has the players given up? Has the coaching staff given up?
It was interesting, Bear, listening to Archie Knox on the commentary. He kept saying...
I was listening, yeah.
Yeah, well, the amount of times he kept reiterating the point about he said... He didn't mention the team. What he said was there was a sheer lack of confidence throughout the club. That sort of gave me a bit of alarm bells ringing. As you say, if it's between a couple of players, then fine, you can accept that. But you can't accept that if that's going through our management team. Hopefully it's no, but there might be something in it. I don't know.
Look, guys, I'm a bit more and more concerned that, you know, I'm not going to go and sit and, you know, I've still got faith in Stevie Gerrard, but I'm just a bit concerned about the dressing room side of things, the reaction we had the Hibs game. It was what it is. I expected a reaction, and obviously the management team expected a reaction with the Aberdeen game. We got what we got, and then you know, the Aberdeen game, and then we got what we got today against Kilmarnock, and you know, I'm concerned about.
Bear, can I ask you, pal, about when you're saying you're concerned, mate, right? I mean, you're like yourself, we've all got faith in Stevie Gerrard. But what would your concerns be in the dressing room? Is it like you think that the team's not pulling together in the dressing room, or do you think there's a faction in the dressing room, a split a bit of trouble in the
I
dressing
think-
room.
I
What
think-
would you think?
Or are they just no good enough?
Look, guys, there's probably not enough time to discuss this on the night, right? But two things I want to bring up with the fact is I'm hoping he's not losing the dressing room, but also the critical factor is we sat the night in the supporters club and I asked a couple of the guys as well. I went through all the signings that's been made this year, all right, and the two critical words that was made was all right and average.
Yeah.
Aye.
Right,
Well, they're
right.
not wrong.
That was it. I asked them individually. This person, that person, this person, that person. You know, I been all right. Aye, average or no good enough. I think that's for the key words that we've got to look at. The fact is you know, that is what it looks on it. What's been brought in. It was started off great, but over the course of the season, that is what it's been. It's been he's been all right, or average, or whatever. Right? What a day on what's been brought up is. All I can tell you is we can't afford to go and spend £3.5 million on a centre half and go, he's all right.
Yep.
We cannot afford to go and spend £2 million on a left back and go, I don't think he's going to be all right. We can't go and spend £2 million on a winger and go, yeah, probably not good enough. That's unfortunately, it breaks my heart to say it, but that's where Rangers are at the moment. We have had too many of them guys.
Well, we were discussing that pre-show,
Sorry.
pre-match. No, you're all right, mate. No,
If I'm
we
repeating
were
myself,
on.
you're doing that.
No. You're brand new. No, we were not discussing that in the pre-show, and that that we all felt that guys like Katic and that and Barisic had to step up with the plate. You're no rang there, mate. And that we're all the same. That we feel that we've been let down with some of the signings, well, quite a few of the signings, But it is what it is today, we're all despondent again, and Katic, we all discussed about Katic in before Worrell, and Worrell's not really done much wrong, but Katic was there today, and so was Halliday, and I was the one that was shouting for Halliday, but it's disappointing. Kent and Candace didn't do anything for me. Fred was left up there on his own. Stephen Davis for me. I would have gave him man of the match. He's just shaded it. Here's Fred.
Look good. Look good. I wouldn't say it was outstanding.
You're right. You're right.
At the end of the day,
Guys, I'm coming to the conclusion. I think it's a bit like McCoist and Haitley and all the great players we've seen beforehand, and some of them it takes time. I'm being perfectly genuine here when I say this. I think Stevie's looked at a lot of these players and said to himself, they'll do exactly what I want. And then as soon as they get a bit of pressure on them, I think the shirt's becoming too big for some of them. I genuinely believe that. I don't think it's that they've not got the talent. There's guys there we know they've got ability. The consistency thing is criminal. It's killing us. But I think it's came to the stage, and Archie Knox, as I say, kept saying the same thing all day. The confidence was shot. Now, if the confidence is shot, you've got to try and build players up. Now, Stevie G keeps coming out after every game and telling us he'll get the players back up for it. See, the first half, guys, you're not telling me all the players were given their all, because if they were, then we really are in big trouble. So they come out the second half and you've seen a bit more fight. But we should be starting games like that.
Yeah. Can I ask, sorry to jump in there, Blue Star Fox, I might ask Fox. Fox, do you think that, maybe not so much this season, but next season, do you think we need to change the way we play? Do you think we should revert away for the system we've got and maybe 3-5-2 or 4-4-2? Do you think that because of the way that teams play against us?
I don't know if that'll make any difference. I'll tell you what we would need today. We can't keep depending on cheap buys today to turn into quality players, mate. If you look at that team today, there are a lot of big names in that squad when we first signed them. And we were all clapping our hands thinking it's great. But when you look at McGregor free, Tav £200,000, Katic was a couple above. Golson probably the dearest one we've bought. Halliday was already there. Kamara free. Koulibaly on loan. Davis free. Candias, when he came to us, cost a couple of quid. Kent on loan. And Morelos was £1 million.
Great
If you
point,
want
Fox.
quality, you've got to pay for it, mate. And
Yeah.
doesn't matter who. If Pep Guardiola was our manager, mate, it wouldn't make any difference. Quality costs money, and it's up to the board to produce the money in the funds. No longer can we go for cheap frees and loan deals. If you're going to get loan deals, get in loan deals that's worth money and a bit of quality. I envy them sometimes across the water, mate.
Definitely.
They've got loan players. We've got loan players like Joe Worrell, who's reckoned to be worth 7 million, but that's just paper talk. Probably more in the range of 2 million. But they're bringing in a £12 million player for Man City. That's if you're going to bring loan players in, bring in people that matter and are of quality. As I say, we can't do it on the cheap. It'll be a long summer for us to see what happens next year. I'm not too despondent. My season was over during the week, mate, and what we've got to do in the last 8 games is, I'm one of the guys that doesn't bother too much about the Europe trips. I know a lot of fans would. I'm too old for it now, but our priority next year is winning this league and nothing else.
Right, Fox, she's saying what you're saying. I think we would all totally agree with you. But the big but here is, to get in quality, we need severe finance. If we've not got the finance, say for talking sake, he gets 10 million quid. Does that mean then he's got to bring in 5 players at 2 million? I don't think so. I think he's got to go more than that if he's looking for pure quality. I think you're talking about 3 players at 3.5 or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? To get the quality, you've got to pay.
But can I say something, Blue Star? Getting a player in a free and up to £1 million, there's no a great deal of difference between the players. And going from £1 million to £3 million for a player, there's no a great deal of difference. What we're finding in Scotland is journeymen, but good at their job, are stopping us, mate. Journeymen. And if you want quality, if we get £10 million to spend next year, I'd rather we spend £10 million on a decent attacking midfielder that can open up these teams. Because that's what we're going to do.
I'm agreeing with you, Fox. That's my point. But realistically, are we going to be able to afford to do that? Again, it's down to the board. It's down to the finances that they can afford to give them. There's nobody would disagree with you on that one. It's fact. We need quality. We need not a good player. We need right good players. Because we've seen it the day, as you said, we weren't up against any stars today. We were up against players that were out our club years and years ago, and they were papped out because they weren't good enough. So we're back to the same scenario. These teams are playing to formations where they're making it difficult, and we can't break them down because the quality we've got to hold our hands up now and tell it, say it as it is. The players we've got aren't good enough.
We're digesting what's happened today, and obviously, I mean, what Fox and yourself saying is right. You know, you could go and buy a £1 million player, or you could get a £3 million player. See, the league that we're in, apart from one team, is a puddle drinkers. They can afford to go and spend that type of money, and the situation we're in is that we can't. So we've got what we've got, and we need to try and make the best fist of it that we can. My problem is that some of the loan deals we're bringing in, and some of the players that we have brought in aren't up to it. No, even up to Scottish football. That's the way I feel.
Jimmy,
there you go.
I'd like to honestly put this to you, like see yourself and everybody in the panel, right? And this isn't being a reflection on one player, right? But I'd like everybody to be honestly, and I'd like to ask these 2 questions. We bought Connor Golson for 3.5 million, right? I'd like to ask 2 questions. Have we had the value of 3.5 million for as a centre half? That's the first question. And the second question is, if we had to sell him in the summer, would we get 3.5 million back? That's really what we need to look at. Is that's two questions I'd like to ask the panel and ask honestly if what you reckon, they two questions would be.
Blue Star.
I would honestly give him pass marks. What I would say, I would agree with you, Baird, in the sense, would we get that if we sold him now, unless an English club comes in? Can we get better than that for that kind of money? Well, that's down to whoever your scouting is. I don't know. I get your point. I get what we're all saying. We need proper quality. If we're spending decent money, we've got to make sure these players are going to be capable. But to answer your question, I would say he gets pass marks.
Fox.
Oh, hard one. We thought at £3.5 million he would do well in our league. He's done all right over the season, but for me, he's been asked to do a job. Both centre-halves have been asked to do a job that they start the attacks when none of them possess the qualities to do so. Out of our centre-halves, Katic's the only one I would trust to win a ball in the air. I don't think Connor Goldston or Joe Worrell can get off the deck. I think that's a poor sign for a centre forward. Their judgment sometimes is something to be questioned. £3.5 million sounds a lot for us, but in the basic thing of British football, mate, it's peanuts.
It's nothing.
Well, my summation on that was, I said these earlier on, guys. I looked at the guy John Egan for Sheffield United, who's at £3.5 million. Is Connor Goldston the same class? No, he isn't. Would we get the same amount of money we paid for Connor Goldston? No, we wouldn't. Did we pay too much for Connor Goldston? I think we did. But the managers bought this player, and Katic, for me, is a bit of an enigma. I don't think we would get the same money back for them. And that's quite frightening in the aspect, is that who's to blame for that? Is it the gaffer? Is it Mark Allen? That's too early to say. I agree to a certain extent what Blue Star's saying about teams bedding in their players and that. He's a new manager. And I still maintain that the gaffer's got to be good to the end of next season, at least. To get
Absolutely.
It right. And if he doesn't, then he knows himself that then it's curtains for him. Goldston, for me, when I first saw him, a cracking player. He's commanding in the area. He's for corners and free kicks and that, and set pieces. Absolutely wonderful he was at the start. And so was Katic and Barisic. I know the crossing the ball, but they've all fell away, and that's worrying. That's worrying why that is happening. So if he can't get it right before the end of the season, and I'm not going to read out the names I read out the other night there, but when I picked a team of 11 that would genuinely leave Ibrox, whether they were shown the door or need a transfer, But anyway, enough of my dulcet tones. We've been joined by Rudy.
Hi, Jim.
How you doing, Rudy?
Oh, that was very disappointing again, Jimmy. Yeah.
Aye, was.
Do you know what? It's a quality problem. I'm convinced of that, Jimmy. That's what it is. We lack quality.
Of course we do.
Something we're going to have to look at in the summer, come the summertime. Like you were just saying there, Jimmy, you read out about 11 names, didn't you? There's 11 players. There's a first team who can go in the summer. And that money that's saved from that, from salaries or whatever, or if we could get a bit of money back for one or two, it might get the door come the summer. It's got to be invested back in the team again, because we really do. I'm going to use a word, Jimmy. I don't know if you remember last season, that I used quite a lot last season. Mediocrity, Jimmy.
Yeah.
We've got players that are pretty mediocre, mate, unfortunately. Yeah. And it's only... I haven't said that this season because it's only in the last sort of, say, 4-5 games, that I've come to that conclusion again. We've still got mediocre players there, so we've still signed players that are pretty mediocre. And I mean, you can talk about the refereeing decisions, you can talk about the hammer throws, the Kelly. I know that's relevant. It's all relevant to what happens in a game. But when you have players through in goal, Jimmy, who take the chance that's provided for them right in front of goal. That isn't down to the referee or the hammer throws, you know.
You're right.
That's down to the quality that we've got in the team, unfortunately. So it is.
It was. You're 100% right. Blue Shadows joined us. How you doing, Blue?
All right, mate. How we going? Disappointing, wasn't it?
It was certainly disappointing, mate. It was there's not really much. I could use a couple of
Really,
swearing
there's
words,
not really much you can add to that, is there? No.
No,
I've
it was.
on about the point that's been going on about at the minute about the players. I think, and the lack of quality is. I think we've been a little bit unfortunate, and we've had injuries to what might be called our quality players. We've lost Jamie Murphy, we've lost Graham Dorrans, we've lost. I'm trying to think a couple others. Arguably, but with Dorrans' injury problems, should we let Doherty go because he's another attacking midfielder that's out on loan at the minute? So I think we've been rather a bit unfortunate in many ways. Whether this is down to the, shall we say, overly physical nature of Scottish football, that's a question that needs to be answered for me.
Do you know what kind of worries me a wee bit, Blue Shadow? See the players at the beginning of the season that we were looking, i.e., Goldson, Katic, when Barisic came in his first few games, we were looking at these players and thinking, I've got some real quality here in the side now. They seem to have gone backwards, they don't seem to have improved. If anything, they've gone backwards a wee bit. Some of the performances we're looking at for some of the players now, that we were quite happy with at the beginning of the season. I know it's a long, hard season, but some of the players that we were looking at and thinking, right, okay, we've brought some real quality in here now, they don't look like that anymore, and they seem to have gone backwards. Is that because, is there a problem on the coaching pitch, the coaching field, behind the scenes? Or is it a confidence thing? Are they just lacking confidence? Is it more to do with that than anything else? Because there is some players there at the beginning of the season I thought, oh, look, he looks a cracker. He really does. You get Barisic with his left foot, that we're all waxing lyrical about that in his first few games. Connor Goldson, Nikola Katic, look like they're forming a really good partnership. You look at them now, and sometimes they're just like sixes and sevensies, and they just don't know what they're doing. They don't look like, their partnership is there anymore. And I don't know if that's due to a coaching thing. That's what kind of worries me slightly,
Hey, Rudy, can I come in on that, guys?
On you go, Bear.
How you doing, Rudy? It's Bear down under here, mate. Long time no speak. How are you?
Aye, I'm fine, buddy. Hope you're well.
Yeah, mate. Look, I like what you're getting at there when you touched the point, right? And I happen to be looking at the table of where we finished last year, and we all agree that last year was a disappointing year, right? In terms of how it finished, right? Yep. Now, Oxjay said at the start of the season, and I totally agreed with him. He thought we would be 20 points better off, right, than what we were last year.
Yeah.
Do you know where we are sitting at right now compared to points than what we were last year? Has anybody looked at that?
I think we're about 1 point further on or something, aren't we? Something like that. Is that what it is?
We finished the points. We finished the season 70 points, right?
Mm-hmm.
Last year. We are sitting currently, I think it's 60 points in it. We're still 10 points short of where we finished last year, right? And what have we got? We've got 7 games left, or 8 games left, is that right?
8, yeah.
8 games left, right? And then we've got in the 8 games, we've obviously got the split. We've got harder games. Now, I want to judge. I'm not getting on the Stevie Gerrard, get him to go and all the rest of it. But we have got to set a standard and we've got to judge it to last year. Last year was a disappointing year, but we're still 10 points off of where we finished last year, right?
Yeah.
Now, you look at that team last year and we criticised Windass. We criticised everybody left, right and centre. We criticised Kashina, we criticised Bertie. I think we've got to look at it's got to be judged in games, it's got to be judged in points, and we're still 10 points off. And look at the performance today. I don't know if we're going to beat 70 points this year. I don't know if it's going to be much, guys. And that will have to be, you will have to be judged on that alone. And I'm sorry.
sorry, but you're 100% right. I mean, we finished 12 points behind the Puddle Drinkers last season, and and now we're 10 now behind them.
Right.
That's a certainty. You know, they'll win tomorrow. So I mean,
So we talk about the pink elephant in the room again. It was this. We're not allowed to talk about the Steven Gerrard. You know what I mean? It's like all that. You know what I mean? What I'm trying to say is I'm only judging it on last year, and we are 10 points behind in where we are. And we can all talk about it's a plan. You know, it's a 4-year cycle and all the rest of it. But all I know is that we agreed as a fan at the start that we need to improve on last year.
Yep.
Right. And I'm sorry. And and we also. Fox at the start of the year said as well, he didn't want a European tie because he wanted to concentrate on it, and fully agreed as well. Yeah. And maybe we've sacrificed the league and the points for the European run, which, to be honest, to me, you know, brought back great memories. You know, getting up at 4:45 in the morning and loving that, and I would never take it away. But at the end of the day, the big end game is. We are still sitting 10 points behind.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The elephant in the room is Steven Gerrard. We talked about this other night there. You know, we could end up finishing more than 12 points behind them this season.
Jimmy.
We might not even finish third. So, you know, and I've always said on here that, you know, why no be frightened to speak about Steven Gerrard? Because we've put him up on a pedestal, right? So, he's a manager of Rangers, but he's still going to be criticised. And if
Jimmy, we went into the international break and we were level with the Puddles, right?
Yep.
We were level. Since then, we've went rapidly downhill. Now, why is that?
Well, guys, let's be honest. But the Puddle Drinkers have come backwards, right? I believe that they've came backwards to what they were last year, right? So,
but Bear, what I'm saying is, if we went level and top of the league with them, what's happened to us in that month that we were away in Spain? How can we come back and be as bad as what we've been? What's happened there?
Bottle. Look at the ball. We went to Kilmarnock and dropped points. After it. You know what I mean? We all sat there after the end of the year and went, oh, look, that's our top of the year. We have went and signed Stephen Davis. We've went and signed Jermaine Defoe. We've went and improved our team. We are new this, we're that. What are they doing? What, you know what I mean? Who have they went and signed? We believe their own hype. And all it is that's all we believe. We believe their own hype.
Right.
And
I'll bring Blue Shadow and then Fox and then Rudy. And then we'll probably not be long before that we'll finish up. But on you go, guys. Blue Shadow.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't think the Mankey Mob are as good as they were last year. And that's the only reason that we were on their coattails at the change of the season for me. Since we came back from yet another international break, and I don't know what it is with us with international break, but we seem to come back really, really poor. I think because we were so close to them at the change of the year, the Mankey Mob across the city came out and they came out motivated and they put a run together, which we have just not matched, which is why we're so far behind this season. It could well end up worse. I mean, I think we lost a lot of our creative players to injury. The players players like Gresta and that are coming back from injury. Barisic has had an injury in PT season as well, which I think has severely knocked his confidence. I think young Katic's confidence has been knocked due to the fact that we got this guy Worrell in, and there was, I think, if we wanted to hold him, if we hold on to him, he had to play X amount of games before the new year, and I think that's affected him. I don't know what is in his contract for the second part of the season. So I think that's severely affecting that lad. And he's our player. Worrell isn't. I really don't like that for me. But the encouraging thing for me is, although they weren't fantastic, I don't think they were. I think the lads we brought in today to try and improve things like Barisic and Gresta And I think Stephen Davis had his best game for us so far. And today, Gerrard actually, for me, tried to do something to change the game, and that's encouragement. So I'm trying to find the positive point to pick out for today's performance for me.
Fox?
I don't know if Steven Gerrard, I think he realises the equipment he's got to work with isn't good enough. He never promised us he was going to win the league this year. He never promised us he was going to win anything. He says he would try his best to get us into the best position we possibly could be. And I don't know if it's the support. See, the big names think that he's going to be a miracle worker. As I said earlier on, it costs money now in football to produce or to get quality in. And that's a problem the board need to solve. And it's no use changing the manager every year or whatever it is. Until we get it sorted out where we've got the funds to challenge, I don't know where we go for here. I'm just going to look forward. That's the first game I've missed all season at Ibrox, and I missed going the day, but it'll no stop me going to the next home game either. I've been a Rangers supporter like everybody in the lobby and everybody on the panel and everybody listening in. Bad times are really bad sometimes, but you've got to look forward and hope we can find a way through it.
Yeah, here, Fox, because we've all been there, and it has been worse than this. I know we've came from where we did since 2012, but here, I agree with you there. Rudy, you seem to have meant the last word, mate, on you go.
Cheers. Well, look, we had a bad December. You know, even beginning of December, we were on the show, we were saying it was such a big, it was an important month for us, you know. We had to keep neck and neck with them. We managed that by beating them in the 29th. And then since then, for me, apart from the games that we should have won, and we scored 14 goals in 3 games, we should have won them anyway, Jimmy, you know what I mean? But we struggle against the teams at the top of the league. We really do. There's no other way of looking at it for me. And for me, that's down to quality. And I was saying to Blue Star just the other night when we touched on this, money has to be found now come the summer. Steven Gerrard is obviously looking at his squad and he's thinking to himself, some of these guys are just not good enough. So we're going to need another influx of players come the summer. They have to be better quality than we've got. And I'm not so sure we should have as many loans this time either. I don't mind using the loan market. I don't mind it at all. If you can unearth a couple of diamonds through the loan process, that's fine. But for me, it's down to the board now. Come the summertime, he's got to be backed properly with funds in the summer to bring in more quality. It's as simple as that. We lack quality, Jimmy, and that's the answer to why we're going through this just now, in my opinion, and I'm sure everybody else's opinion as well.
Well said, mate. Well said. Anyway, guys, that's has got our time now. Just like to thank you for joining the pre-show and the after-match show. So I hope you enjoyed myself and the guys that were on today. So myself, I'd like to thank Terry and Fox in the background, Old School Blue. I'd like to thank Blue Star, Blue Shadow, Rudy Bear, and myself, JFK. And remember, we'll see you all tomorrow night. We'll see you all Monday night, 9 o'clock till 11. And we'll talk about everything about the Rangers. So it was nice to have you all here today. Take care. We are the people and no surrender. Bring it on.
Well done, Jimmy.
Well done, Jimmy. Grand job, mate. Well done.
Ever since I recall, I have followed football, and ingrained in my heart are the Rangers FC. Through good and the bad, times of happy or sad, it will always be Rangers for me. For when I was a lad, I was led by the hand down the Paisley Road West. I will never forget that beautiful sight of the red, blue and white. From the day I'd be Rangers for life. And I vowed to my dad, if I too have a lad, I would show him the way as he did on that day. And so now here I stand with young Lyle by the hand, after walking down Paisley Road West. For when I was a lad I was led by the hand down the Paisley Road West. I will never forget that beautiful sight of the red, blue and white. From that day I'd be Rangers for life. For when I was a lad I was led by the hand down the Paisley Road West. I will never forget that beautiful sight of the red, blue and white. For the day I'd be Rangers for life. There's a great sense of pride that I feel deep inside as I'm watching the jurors, my father and son. And it's sure safe to say at the end of the game, win or lose, we will all follow on. For when I was a lad I was led by the hand down the Paisley Road West. I will never forget that beautiful sight of the red, blue and white. From that day I'd be Rangers for life. Ever since I recall I have followed football, and ingrained in my heart are the Rangers FC. Through good and the bad, times of happy or sad, it will always be Rangers for me. For when I was a lad I was led by the hand down the Paisley Road West. I will never forget that beautiful sight of the red, blue and white. For the day I'd be Rangers for life. From that day I'd be Rangers for life. From that day I'd be Rangers for life.